Welcome to the reading. This reading will be about Soulja Boy. So I'm going to be seeing like what's up, because there's rumors about him being like broke. They say that he's super broke, even though they say that I think he's spending like paying like $50,000 a month for rent for some mansion in LA, I guess. Not just that, I'm going to be seeing like if he really hit that Kayla Myers with a gun. And I'm just going to be like picking up his energy as far as like what I see. So let me actually start this off with like what's happening with the energies around him. Actually, I'm drawn to use this deck. So let's see what's happening with the energies around him. What can we see? All right, this is his emotion because the card is face down. So let's see what's happening. Past lives. There's an energy of karma. I'm definitely getting energies of karma. And I know that people always think that past lives mean like previous like lives, like before you were born and all of that. I'm not getting that. It's kind of just like past lives as far as like karmic things from the past, right? It could be like a year ago, 10 years ago. It's current situations, right? I always have to explain this with this card, right? Kind of like if you were married and it's kind of like your second marriage, you know, you had a past life of being married, right? It doesn't mean always kind of just like the most extreme, right? Like, you know, like you were a woman and like, you know, all that crazy shit. I'm just getting like, it's relating to like his life. It's karmic. Something's karmic about his life. And we're going to be seeing what it's about. But you guys know I like to usually pull like 4 cards if 4 cards come out. So let me see. What else can we see? So he's dealing with karma regarding his past lives. What else can we see? All right, another of his emotion, because the card is face down. So represent his emotions. So let's see what's going on. Not just that it relates to the past lives. Moment to moment. He knows that shit's not right. He knows shit is not right. Because it's kind of like, I'm getting a vibe like he's not settled. He's definitely not settled. Not just that, again, it's karmic. And intuitively, he knows that, like, he's been involved in some shit. And that he has to take it one day at a time with this moment to moment. So that's interesting. He's kind of just like, I have to take it moment to moment. So let's see. Again, this is his emotion because the card is face down. And I believe it's in reverse. It flew in reverse. Oh, completion. He's going to be dealing with a struggle. There's going to be a struggle. It's like he wants things to balance out, but he's going to have to deal with this karma in this lifetime. I'm being silly, but it's kind of just like he's really going to have to deal with this karma, though. It's like he doesn't want to deal with it, and it's kind of just like he does things like Christians do when they had sort of just like bad past lives, right, before they were saved and all of that. And it's kind of just like, oh, I'm going to take it moment to moment, right, and God's going to save me and all of that. That's kind of like his energy. He fucked up, and he knows that he fucked up too, but he's kind of just like, I have to take it moment to moment. Not just that, this is a bad omen, the completion in reverse. It's kind of just like he's not going to be settled. Not just that, he's going to be dealing with some shit. And I'm going to check out these energies separately. But let's see what else pop up for the last card. Hopefully one card pops out to give us 4 cards. And I'm going to look and see what's up with the energies. So let's see. What else is going on with this Soulja Boy energy? And my bad if I don't say his name right. I usually don't ever say that situation. Okay, so we have 2 cards. So it's not going to be 1 card. There's going to be a transformation that's happening. It's going to be an intense transformation with this 8. It's going to shake him to his core with this traveling. He's definitely going to have to deal with sort of just like the karmic situations of his life. I don't know why he keeps telling me that he's karmic. And again, I don't know anything of this guy. This is just what's being told to me. And the transformation is going to be happening. So it has to do with his pride and his ego. So let's look deeper now with individual energies. As far as like, what can we see regarding this past lives? What can we see? What does that relate to? Because it's telling me it's karmic. So what can we see? Why is this? And I'm actually drawn to choose from this deck. Why is his past lives karmic? What can we see? Like, what did he do? Like, to have shit so karmic? And it seems like he's worried about it too. That he's like, not at peace. So let's see. What can we see? All right. The devil. It's in regards to past relationships, past business dealings. This guy, greed, not just that, pride, big on greed, not just that, being karmic as far as past relationships, being shady, a ton of shit talking. It's telling me shit talking to his family. That's what I'm getting here. It's kind of just like treating his particular family members like shit when he felt like he was on top of the world. And it's kind of just like he has to pay. Not just that, he's seen many people struggling when he could help. Not just that, it's telling me that he laughed at them. And was kind of just like, it was like entertainment for him. So it's kind of just like he has to pay for that. What else can we see with this moment to moment? Because it's like now he's telling himself like, oh, like I'm a changed person. Remember how I was telling you it's kind of just like a Christian that kind of like did bad things in the past. And then like they say like, oh, I found God and all that. And it's kind of just like, oh, I'm going to live moment to moment, one day at a time. Now he's in that vibe. And it's kind of irritating when people are really fucked up and then they feel like, oh, okay, so I feel remorse now. So like I'm going to move on with my life. It's kind of like that energy. But it's kind of just like, it's the energy of like things not being fair, right? Because it's kind of just like you went out your way to treat people like shit. That's what I'm seeing here. The devil, it's a real abusive energy is what I'm seeing. Being verbally abusive, putting people down. And again, this is family that he was doing this to. It's telling me family, that he was treating family like shit. And it was entertaining to see people not being able to pay their bills, not being able to pay their rent, and him kind of just like, you should have your shit together. And so now he's kind of just like, oh, okay, I'm not that way anymore. I'm a changed person. But let's see, is he really a changed person? What can we see as far as this moment to moment? What can we see? Like, what else information can be given to us regarding this guy and his situation, all right? It has to do with his wealth, and it has to do with his comfort, right? Because it's kind of like the Nine of Pentacles relates to a lady that like dresses well, not just that things come easy for her. It actually represents someone that's spoiled. So it's kind of just like things came easy for him. And again, I don't know anything of this guy. I don't even know any of his songs, to be honest. I know that he was really big and he did all these like dances back in the day. So like I know that, but I really don't know any of his music. That's not my type of music. I always hated it. Like I didn't like it even back then. It was lame as fuck to me. So it's kind of just like an energy of, let me pick up this energy because this is fascinating. He feels like it's an energy of entitlement. I'm getting an energy of entitlement. It's kind of like he treated people like shit from his past life, right? From like his family. And I'm talking about like his current life. Again, I'm not talking about like previous lives and all that. I'm talking about like in his current life, but just like from years ago, things that he did in the past. It's telling me being shady to people in the past. But this is an energy of entitlement. And that's what I was saying, like it don't sit well with me because this is an energy of kind of just like, okay, moment to moment, like, you know, I'm gonna like operate moment to moment and those things are in the past and I'm a changed person. And it's kind of just like an energy of entitlement. This card can also represent entitlement. It's an energy that he's entitled. Not just that, it's kind of like the oracle represents kind of like being in your zen like energy, right? Not just that, the oracle can also represent in this deck a tarot reader, a psychic. It also represents kind of like you going through like your spiritual journey and finding peace. You see how this lady's like in her zen, So it's kind of just like he's in his zen, but at the same time, again, it don't sit right with me because it's kind of like an energy of delusion almost, of entitlement. Kind of just like, okay, I'm not the same person, but I've changed and like I don't have to deal with shit. It's an irritating energy. But let's see what's next as far as this completion. Because this completion was telling me that like things are going to be tough for him. It's not going to be like it's karmic and that he's going to be dealing with some shit. I was telling you that it's a bad omen. So let's see what's going on with this completion. What can we see? What's not going to be completed? Because this completion fell in reverse. So let's see. What is this completion about? What can we see regarding this completion? This completion has to do with the magician. Not just that. The magician represents his creativity and all of that, right? Not just that. This is actually fascinating because he feels like he can almost trick the system, right? And that's kind of even with like having like psychic readings kind of like do in a way. It's kind of almost like tricking the system. It is what it is. It's kind of like a cheat code. You know, like people come to me kind of like, oh, should I date this guy? Like, should I do this? What's going on? And shit like that. And obviously it works because people wouldn't be having psychic readings. So obviously there's all these intuitive readers and all that because something must be going right with it, right? For it to like be as popular and common as it is. Because it's like a cheat code. This dude, he feels like he can play the system. Again, it's kind of just like, oh, okay, like I'm a changed person one day at a time, sweet Jesus. It's giving me like that type of energy. But it's a vibe of like, it's not real. That's what I'm getting. It's a vibe of like fake spirituality. Not just that, it's entitlement. I was telling you that this card is entitlement. Not just that, it's kind of just like delusion of spirituality. And it has to do with the magician. The magician is kind of like a trickster as well. That's what the magician actually represents, is like a trickster. One of the things the magician represents. He feels like he can trick the system. And it's funny that these two cards fell on this slot, even though it was pertaining to the completion. And I was telling you that the completion is a bad omen. So even though he feels like he can trick the system by being the magician, it's not going to happen. Not just that, this is his emotion because the card is face down. So let's see what his emotion is. The King of Pentacles, it relates to his money. He's desperate. He's definitely desperate because of money. And he feels like if he could do the whole spirituality thing, and I'm not saying he's Christian, I'm not saying that. I was just trying to explain like the energy that I'm getting so like people can understand. But he feels like if I can be all spiritual, I can cheat the system. Not just as an energy of entitlement. He feels like he can cheat the system. And it relates to being like the King of Pentacles. But I was telling you it's a bad omen because it's telling me that, no, it's not going to be completion as far as his creativity. Not just that, it's not going to be completion as far as this King of Pentacles. It's going to be tough for him. So he feels like he can cheat the system again, but it's not going to be going down. What can we say as far as this traveling? What is this traveling about? And I was telling you that he's going to be dealing with difficulty. I was getting difficulty. Like the Two of Swords, indecision. There's indecision, not just that, it's an energy of clinging to the past achievements. It's a tough vibe. It's like he wants to live in the moment, but it's hard for him because he knows that he did fucked up shit in the past, and karma is making him relive that. Because the Two of Swords is all about sort of like going back and forth, indecision. I'm seeing that it has to do with his actions. It has to do with his actions. And you see how like this tree is bare? It's bare fruit with this situation. What has he done with his wealth? Again, I don't know anything of him, but this is what the energies are telling me. And it's like asking him, like this is what's being asked him. What have you done with your wealth? How have you helped people? What did you do? And he doesn't have answers. Not just that, it's telling me almost like he's clinging to the past. I'm seeing clinging to the past. He wants to be happy, but it's a struggle for him. What else can we see with this transformation? What can we see as far as this transformation? It affects his emotions because the cards are face down. Not just that, things keep falling on this slot. Again, he feels like he could depend on fake spirituality. I said fake spirituality. Not just that, it's an energy of entitlement. So what's going on? The Six of Pentacles, give and take. There's give and take in this situation, and that's what he's going to be dealing with. That's what he's going to understand. You know, people, sometimes they do things in their life, right? Like, they do shitty things. You know, they be, and I'm not saying he did this. I'm going to look into the energy to see if it's true. But, like, it's kind of just like, a lot of people do this. Like, they pistol whip the fuck out of somebody, and they laugh, and they think it's cute. Like, you know, they hook up with, like, a friend's, like, partner, you know, a wife or husband or something, and they think it's cute, like they got away with it. And then, like, years later, they feel a particular way because it's like life teach them, like, there's going to be some pain for what you did. And then they try to get into fake spirituality. And then it's almost like an energy of entitlement. Kind of just like, oh, okay, if I say, like, Jesus' name, I ain't going to go through shit. It's that sort of energy. It's kind of like, you see this all the time, like, I guess on Facebook and shit, where it's kind of just like, they might say some shit like, oh, I'm a Christian, believer in Christ, and all that. Meanwhile, it's kind of just like, they're talking about, like, sneaky links and all of that. Like, it don't make sense, right? Because it goes against doctrine. Like, if they really follow the doctrine, they would know, like, their lifestyle doesn't match. And I understand people aren't perfect, but it's an energy almost like bullshit. It's giving me bullshit. And again, the Six of Pentacles represent give and take. There's give and take with this situation. Like, it's kind of like, okay, you want to get into spirituality, but there's give and take with that. Not just that, there has to be a payout. The Two of Cups, and it relates to what he did in the past because of love. I was telling you that I was getting a situation to do with, like, romance, and again, I'm going to look and see if he hit that Kayla chick. But what I'm getting is it relates to love. He was shady with love. He was really shady. I'm getting cheating. The Two of Cups can represent a couple. It represents romance. Being shady in love, there has to be give and take with that. He's going to have to pay up. He did some karmic things because of that. Not just that, the Five of Wands. He was enjoying the fuck shit. He was enjoying the fighting. It was a lot of fighting. It's an energy of kind of like, I don't know. I'm just getting, this is what I'm getting, like, people doing bad and him laughing at it. That's what I'm seeing. Like, him having a smirk and him laughing. It's like I see him on a porch just laughing with a smile on his face. Like, people were going through shit. And it was kind of just like, yeah, he didn't have to help if he didn't want to, but it was almost like unnecessary. Not just that, it was a situation to do with, like, pride. Kind of like, okay, I'm going to get away with this. Like, you know, like, this person I'm laughing at, like, fuck them. Like, they're fools. They're stupid. But it's an energy of, like, there was no humility. There was no understanding. And it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. So, I mean, deep. And look, justice. So these things are going to be affecting him. This transformation, things are going to be transforming because there has to be a payout. Again, with that Six of Pentacles. And I know it seems like I'm long-winded. I'm not going to rush this reading because this energy is really deep. You know, because I was thinking to myself, like, okay, this is probably going to be like a quick reading, right? Because I don't expect anything with my readings, but sometimes I assume shit. Like, kind of like, okay, what am I going to see with this reading? Like, really? But no, it's a lot of things going on here. It's karmic. He's going to be dealing with justice. And this confirms everything I was saying. It's kind of just like a karmic person that thinks that they can play and cheat the system. Because oracles are basically, they help you cheat the system, right? Like, you know, if you're going to date a fucked up guy, it's kind of just like, you know, you want to know. Like, I remember I had a client. I was like, yo, and this actually seems to be common, especially, like, with the ladies where they're about to, like, date some guy and they want to know. And it's kind of just like, oh, you know that this guy is married, right? Like, right? Like, I see, like, let's say the devil and the Four of Wands pop out. And I'm kind of just like, he's married. And it's kind of just like, after reading, they don't reply back. And then 2 months, they're like, wow, it was true. He was married. Like, it's a lot of shit like that. And it's because being an oracle helps you cheat the system. That's why people come to psychics. So it's kind of just like, again, this guy, he thinks that he can cheat the system. Not just that. Again, the Nine of Pentacles represents being entitled. He feels like he's entitled. But no, he's not going to be cheating the system. It's not going to be happening. Not just that. This shit's going to hit him hard. This transformation and all this shit, it's going to hit him hard and quick with this Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands represents sort of just like things happening quickly. So it's kind of just like he thinks that he's going to play the system, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be affecting him really quickly as far as this karma. And we're already seeing like the beginning stages of it, right? Because now people are laughing at him, kind of just saying like, damn, this dude, you know, he had all these hits. Again, I don't even know what the hits were, but people are saying like, damn, he had all these hits and he can't even pay, I think it's a $400,000 settlement. And celebrities be making that, especially like rappers, they be making that in a day and shit as far as like a performance. And yeah, he's talking about like, there was COVID and all of that, and you know, I couldn't perform. But it's kind of just like, okay, like things been open now for a minute, so it's kind of just like, what's your excuse? So it's an energy of like exposing him, like, and now people are laughing at him because this is shit that he did, especially to his family, people he knew and his family. So it's showing me like he was a shitty person. So that's what's happening as far as the energies around him. So let me see, how does he feel about sort of just like the rumors going around saying he's broke? Like, what can we see regarding that situation? Like, does it bother him? What can we see? Actually, I'm drawn to use this deck. So let's see. How does he feel about people saying he's broke? And I'm going to be seeing if it's true. Is he just trying to like play the system or what? Even if he is, that's still not a good look. But let's see. How does he feel about people saying like, oh, this guy is basically lame, he's a bum, he's broke, and that he's a joke? What can we see regarding, I think some gold paint chip. Like the card and something just like flash, whatever. But what can we see as far as like people saying this guy? He's worried about his money. He's worried about his money. He's worried about his creativity, and it's having a bad impact on sort of like his collaborations. That's what I'm seeing. Again, he's trying to do the whole fake spirituality, right? This temperance, it represents kind of just like the same energy of like one day at a time. Remember how that moment to moment came out? The temperance represent kind of like being patient, right? It represent alchemizing, right? It's an energy of like he's trying to be patient. He's kind of being like, okay, like, you know, I'm doing this fake spirituality. I'm being humble. Like, I switch my ways. But at the same time, it's an energy to do with his collaborations. This situation is having a terrible effect on his collaborations, not just that, on work. And there's a lot of illusions as well with this hermit. There's a lot of illusions. So let me see what's up. What's his collaborations going to be looking like? What can we see as far as like his collaborations? It's telling me it's having like a bad effect on his collaborations. But let's see, what's going to be the long-term energy? Like, will he be able to pull something out his ass? Or like, what's going on? What can we see as far as his collaborations? The Ten of Cups. He's going to be dealing with shit. I'm seeing that he's going to be dealing with shit. And at the same time, there's not going to be a full table. If you look at this Ten of Cups, there's no one really at the table. It's telling me that he's still going to be able to, like, do shit. He's still going to be able to collaborate with people. Is he going to get the names that he wants? It's telling me no. Not just that. It's an energy with this Two of Swords where people are on the fence. Right? It's kind of just like people are questioning if they really want to do this. It's kind of like, let's just say if he has a project with Drake that he was working on, right? It's kind of just like, then Drake would be like, do I really want to do this? It's kind of like that's what this whole situation has done. It's almost like a stigma of like, do you really want to attach yourself to Soulja Boy? Kind of just like, he's a has-been. Not just that he owes like $400,000. Like, really? Like, do you really want to do that? It's an energy of that. The fact that this is Ten of Cups is showing me, like, yeah, he's going to be able to make things work. So it's not, you know, the devil didn't pop out. None of that. But it's an energy of kind of just like his collaborations are on the fence if they really want to work with him. Again, the Two of Swords represent being on the fence. What can we see as far as like his creativity? Because this represents your work and your creativity. What can we see as far as like his work and his creativity? And then I want to see like what's going on with that Hermit. The Moon, there's a lot of illusions as well. This guy, he's making things seem worse than what it really is. And I know this might sound outlandish, and I'm not trying to like just be extra for the sake of the reading, because I don't even think that this sounds even like all that awesome, like as far as it being deep. But it's kind of just like, it's an energy to do with he's making his money as far as illegal ways. It's telling me drug money, and it's telling me wow, I don't even want to say it, but I'm going to say it. Let me just say this all alleged through trafficking. Drug money and trafficking. He makes money illegal ways. He's affiliated with some shady people as far as work. And that's why I was telling you, like, things is weird, especially with this Hermit being here, because it's telling me, like, things aren't all that it seemed as well. So it's kind of just like, yeah, all of this shit has exposed him. Like, he's not necessarily, I guess, making money the legit way. So it's like on paper, it's a vibe of kind of just like he doesn't really have shit to show for things, right? But as far as like the underworld, he's involved in some secretive things, and it relates to his work and his creativity and what he does. And it's telling me drugs and trafficking. That's what I'm getting here. So that's what's happening. What else can we see with this Hermit? What else is he lying about? Is like he's keeping hidden. What can we see? Because the Hermit represents keeping things hidden. This card is 2 cards. It represents his emotion. They're sideways. They kind of like popped out sideways. So let's see. What is this about? And it's not right because the cards are sideways. And again, it's his emotion. So let's see. Judgment. It's a karmic situation that he's in. So not only did he treat people like shit in his past, but he has a very karmic lifestyle. A karmic lifestyle with this judgment. And it's kind of just like the spiritual world sees it. And it is affecting his emotions because he knows that he's shady. Not just that, the Sun. More things are going to be exposed. And not just that, he wants to hide things as well. And I get that the Sun represent being like happy and all of that. And it also represents lies being exposed. He keeps things from being exposed with this Hermit. This guy, he's dealing with dirty money. And he has a dirty lifestyle. Dirty money and a dirty lifestyle. Very fascinating. This reading is long, so I don't really want to get that deep into it. But this is actually really deep. This Soulja boy, he's wicked. He's wicked. He's wicked. He's involved in some wicked, shady things as far as making money and as far as what he's hiding with this Hermit. Sorry, my nails are short. But yeah, wicked and shady. Not just that, it's an energy of delusion. He feels like he can cheat the system because he's been doing it for so long. He's been cheating sort of like the earthly system. He's been cheating sort of just like the legal shit. So he feels like he could cheat the spiritual. It's giving me almost like an energy of like a swindler or something. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, that's what's going on with him. And that makes sense. That's why it's kind of just like he can afford basically to pay like $50,000 a month on just rent alone, right? That's not even kind of just like other things, right? Like his electric and whatever as far as food. That's just rent. So it's kind of just like, it's deep. It's deep, right? And obviously the money's not in a bank. Because it's like if it was in a bank, then, you know, the judge would just pull it out the bank. So it's shit going on with his money. Very deep. So it's kind of like, because the whole point of that question was just like, how does people feel? Like, what's happening? Like, he doesn't want people to know. He has secrets with his money and he doesn't want people to know. You know what I mean? So let me see. Did this Soulja boy, did he really hit that Kayla chick? What can we see? Did he really hit that Kayla chick, or is that bullshit? And so yeah, it's kind of just like he has money, but it's dirty money. It's not good money. Like, you know how they say all money isn't good money? That's what I'm getting with this situation. There were fights, and she's making it more than what it is. I'm seeing that it was fights, but she's making it more than what it really was. Not just that, she wants money. That's why she's saying that shit too. Was it karmic? Fuck yeah. With this judgment? Was there fighting? Yeah. And I don't know what she said. You know, all I know is that I seen a video where they said that he allegedly hit her with a gun. What I'm seeing here is whatever he did, it wasn't that serious. Was it karmic? Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Was he dogging her out? Fuck yeah. Was he shady with this hangman? Fuck yeah. Did he keep... And because they talked about sort of just like, I guess, I don't know, like, he didn't want her to go. So I don't really know, like, what's going on with that. But I'm saying it must be true with this hangman being stuck. So it's kind of just like, it's telling me bringing her confidence down, treating her like shit. Not just that, he was playing her. He was definitely playing her with the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is juggling, right? The Two of Pentacles represent when you're juggling something. This dude, he was juggling her, like playing her, like getting her hopes up. So it's an energy of like, oh yeah, I love you. Then the next is like he's treating her like shit. Then the next is kind of like, oh, will you marry me? And like him getting on one knee. It's showing me him getting on one knee, like, will you marry me? And she's like, oh, yeah, yeah. And then it's kind of just like, then later on, he's like, you stupid bitch, I was never going to marry you. Like, you fucking dumb. It's like karmic, degenerate, abusive behavior. That's why that judgment is here. It's telling me, like, he's just a abusive, fucked up person. Like, he likes seeing people hurt. He likes seeing people stuck. And he's at peace with it. Like, it doesn't hurt him. It doesn't make him feel bad. And the only reason why, like, he's trying to do the whole fake spirituality and all that is just because, like, for his own well-being. But at the end of the day, that's just his nature. This was actually a deep-ass reading. I'm going to leave it here. Guys, definitely tell me, like, what do you think of this reading? It was definitely shocking to me. If you made it this far, definitely press the thumbs up button and tell me what you thought. This is definitely interesting to me. Take care, guys.